Hey family, have you ever just been trying to chill, have a chillax day, get back to normality after like a crazy weekend with like a crazy Monday attached, and then all of a sudden you see some news and it's like, oh damn, what's really going on here? Well, that's exactly what just happened. So Ryan Routh, the attempted Trump assassin that happened out in Florida, who was actually being prosecuted in Fort Pierce, that is St. Lucie County. I'm very acquainted with this area. I have gotten in trouble there myself. He just got sentenced, and we have a pretty crazy little surprise here. He tried to stab himself in the neck in the courtroom when they found him guilty. So let's check this out and see exactly what's going on. I want to jump right in here because this is current absolute breaking news, and I wanted to share it with y'all. I haven't even seen this shit either, so we're going to dive on in. Love you guys. Thanks for being here with us today.
And we do have the breaking news just coming in. The man accused of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump is found guilty on all 5 counts. And those jurors deliberated for about 3 hours today in Fort Pierce before delivering the verdict. Local 10's Christina Vasquez is live outside of the courthouse in Fort Pierce with all of the late breaking details. Christina, fill us in.
And dramatic events unfolding as I was here on this sidewalk outside the courthouse to join you live, and the Associated Press reporter was still inside. This is after what I heard, which is the jury returning the determination. And what they are reporting happened next is that Ryan Routh then grabbed a pen, tried to stab himself in the neck. The marshals rush in and had to be dragged out of the courtroom. They also report that his adult daughter, who you might remember, Sarah, she was in our news report from yesterday, that she was screaming out about her love and affection for her father. You might remember that she's described her father as her best friend. So,
well, it looks like he got found guilty. He couldn't take it, and he pulled an oopsie fucksies. I wonder what condition he's in right now. So for those of you who don't remember, there was a golf course. Trump was out there doing his thing. That was a terrible golf swing. I know. I'm not a good golfist, you guys. Don't persecute me because I don't play a lot of sports. Not that golf is really a sport. There might be golf fans out there. I'm saying bad things. But this dude was sneaking up. He didn't take his shot. They actually caught him. He was lurking. He had a gun, and they hit him with attempted murder. Now, he got found unanimously guilty by the jury in this situation. 12 out of 12 jurors said attempted murder. Yep, that's what he did. Now, this was a very easy case to try. They had all the evidence. It was very apparent why he was there. Most people don't understand that you don't actually have to fire the gun for it to be an attempted murder. It just has to show that you went with intent to actually murder someone, and there was miles of proof for that. So what was he looking at here? As we saw with the situation where the person tried to kill Justice Kavanaugh, they gave that person 30 years in prison. And I think that it's important that when people are doing politically motivated acts of violence, regardless if the person is on the left, regardless if the person is on the right, we need to hammer these people. We need to make these people regret their life decisions, make an example out of them so that other people don't do this type of shit. This is what we need to do. So this dude knows that he's facing decades.
here is what the jury determined. Take a look. Guilty on all 5 counts. Now, you might remember it's that first one that is the most significant. So they did find him guilty of attempting to kill Donald Trump when he was a presidential candidate last year.
Keep walking!
A 12-person jury found Ryan Routh guilty of trying to assassinate Donald Trump at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course last year.
Twiggy little man, ain't he? Kind of a twiggy little feller. For those of you who don't know, I am wearing a donut operator shirt. What's the angle? There's the angle. Donut operator. For those of you who don't know, good friend of mine, absolute shout out to Donut. He does a lot of these types of police body cam videos. And I just happened to be wearing this shirt today. It was kind of karmatic. You know what I'm saying?
They also found him guilty on 4 additional related charges.
All units be advised.
During closing arguments, federal prosecutors walking the jury through the mountain of evidence in this case. 38 government witnesses, more than 100 exhibits, which they say shows Ruth intended to kill Trump and took substantial steps toward committing that crime by meticulously and obsessively tracking Trump before lying in wait. A loaded rifle with a bullet in the chamber and the safety off, and a sniper hide he created 126 feet from the hole Trump was set to play next.
See, and they got him just in time. This could have been way worse. This situation could have been really bad. Regardless of whether you are a Trump supporter, a Trump fanatic, if you're part of the cult, if you're just kind of against him, if you're medium against him, majorly against him, these people that wish death upon this dude and they hope that somebody kills him. Do you not see what's happening with Charlie Kirk right now? Do you not understand the history of martyrs throughout history of humankind? If this dude would have killed Trump, it would have been really bad for our country. Going out and killing people for their beliefs when they have a lot of people who follow them is not ever the fucking move, my guy. Even if I supported an anti-Trump movement or something, I would have at least the understanding, the basic understanding of human history and how people work to know that I would be creating a much bigger monster by doing that. It's literally retarded. These people are retarded.
Make no mistake, the federal prosecutor said, Ryan Ruth wanted Donald Trump dead and was one bullet away.
Individual in the bush with a gun.
Ending on a theme about political violence that voters get to decide. Not one man with some weird agenda and a gun, he said, adding he wanted to silence the voice of his fellow Americans. Nobody gets to decide an election that way.
And I agree 100% with him on that. I just want to put this out there. Thinking that your opinion of what's going on in politics is more important than the democratic process of everybody being able to vote and everybody being able to decide is so disgusting, and it's so disruptive, and it's so entitled. I don't think that my opinion is more important than any other Americans. And that's why we all should have the right to vote. And a lot of people are going to say, but JD, you can't vote because you're a felon. And I just want to let you guys know, felons in the majority of states can and do vote. So I just want to nip that in the bud before it even gets started. Real quick, I want to say, Restrict said, I just wanted to say thank you, brother, for everything you do. Your videos are what this world needs. Keep it up and keep the wood chipper running. Big love and respect to you, homie. I appreciate that. Pierce said, I just got here. What did I miss? You didn't miss much, bud. You're here just in time. We just got started, man. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with us. Let's jump back in and see what else is going on with this whole Ryan Ruth thing, because, him getting found guilty, I think it's super appropriate. I think it's really obvious this dude is guilty as sin. The thing that I kind of find surprising is that he tried to take himself out in the courtroom. Do you know what we'll get into what they're going to do with him now that he's tried to take himself out in the courtroom here in a little bit, because this is going to be fun. He just bought himself a way worse ride. He bought the whole ticket to this bitch.
Ruth, who is acting as his own attorney, referred to himself in the third person as he shared his interpretation of intent with the jury.
He's one of those people that refers to himself in the third person. The JD doesn't appreciate or respect people that refer to the JD in the third person. That's weirdo behavior, bro. That's weird-ass behavior. These people are weirdos.
Telling them the evidence shows he had a clear shot and did not take it. It was golden. It was so easy, he told them. He could have completed the job, 100%. Just pulled the trigger, but no intent. The individual could not pull the trigger. It is not in the defendant's heart. The federal judge did have to navigate him back toward making relevant remarks after he drifted off into a speech about the character of the nation and a mention of January 6th. It appears his goal was to present a view of himself to the jury that he is peaceful and nonviolent.
Yeah, well, that kind of goes out the window when they find you lurking in the bushes trying to snipe somebody who's running to be the president of the United States of America with a sniper rifle, my G. All that shit's out, dog. It's way too late for that. And let me just tell you this right now. If you are ever indicted on a crime, do not do what this fucking absolute clown shoe did. Don't try to represent yourself in court. There's a reason that lawyers go to law school. There's a reason that people don't do this unless they're absolute and utter idiots. It's entertaining. I'm not going to lie. Like, I kind of like to see it just for pure, narcissistic fucking voyeuristic purposes. I want to see people do it, but don't do it if you give a fuck about your future.
It is hard for me to see that a crime occurred, he said, if the trigger was never pulled. And it would appear this jury not buying his interpretation of that word intent, instead siding with prosecutors, believing that they did prove their case, finding him guilty on all 5 counts. So what you're looking at live is what I can see from where I'm joining you live.
Yeah, so 12 out of 12 people, regardless of where you take them from, are always going to agree when they understand the actual letter of the law that it doesn't matter if you pulled the trigger, it's always going to be about your intent. And it's really hard to argue that you didn't have the intent to shoot someone when you're hiding in the fucking bushes with a sniper rifle pointed at where they're going to be. And the only reason he didn't get the shot off is because they got to him before Trump got to the hole that he was set up to take him out at. So yeah, that's really shitty defense, my G. You did a really bad job. You really fucked yourself.
So we talked about what the Associated Press reporter inside the courtroom saw, right? That Ryan Ruth then grabs a pen, tries to stab himself, and an emotional reaction from his daughter, Sarah. So you are looking at Sarah in the white dress, and she's standing next to Adam, which is her brother. They've been here, she says, from Hawaii every single day of the trial, and they're waiting at this guard gate, presumably maybe to see the transport van for their father. Again, Sarah describing her father as her best friend and clearly exhibiting some emotion in the courtroom as this outcome did not come to what she had hoped for her father. And something she spoke about yesterday is obviously facing the fact that her father is now going to be facing a possible sentence of life in prison.
Oh, he's definitely going to be facing 30 years. I don't know about life in prison. Life in prison might be a little bit much. But, the dude is old. He's old as shit, bro. Like, he looks like some nasty-ass old gooner that would get caught in the mall with his hand down his pants. 30 years might be a life sentence to this dude, especially considering he's going to a Florida prison or a federal prison. Is this federal or is this Florida? Hold on one second. Let's determine this, because I'm not super educated on this and I don't want to give you guys any bad information. But we do want to talk about what's going to happen to this dude in prison, especially now that he's tried to end himself in a courtroom. This is important, you guys. Is Ryan Ruth's charges federal or state of Florida? Both at federal and Florida state level. Holy shit. This dude is Kentucky fried fucked, you guys. This dude is absolutely cooked out. Like, this is so bad for this dude. This dude is not going to be doing any type of good shit. His time is going to be on all bad. This is really, really fucked up, bro. So just so you guys know, when it comes down to it, a dude like this is going to be hated in prison. There are a lot of people, especially in federal prison, there are a lot of Trump supporters in federal prison. Let me explain why. Donald Trump, during his first term, enacted the First Step Act. And the First Step Act let thousands of people out of federal prison who were unlawfully sentenced, like they had been given sentences that were unfair and unlawful. And he signed an act that let thousands of people out of prison because they were sentenced like 3 or 4 times past the legal limit. And the feds were abusing their power. And Trump took that power away from the feds to be able to do this to people. So there are a lot of Trump fans in prison. You might not think that it's one of those things, but there's a lot of people in prison that are also incredibly patriotic. And Florida is a very red state. There's going to be a lot of Trump supporters in prison in Florida too. So the fact that this dude tried to take Trump out, they're not going to like this dude. They're going to want to get in this dude's neck. They're going to want to get in this dude's butt. The fact that he's already tried to stab himself in the neck is pretty crazy. Silent Thought said, man, I've been away from God for over 10 years and never planned on going back, but I found myself praying yesterday. These are crazy times. Stay safe. Love you, man. It's crazy how things come full circle. I can relate a lot with my story, bro. Alex said Ryan Ruth won't even mind the gay stuff in jail. He looks like a twink, dog. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but the dude's twiggy. He looks like a twink. I'm just saying. Moon Valley Ridge Homestead. Old Kentucky, ladies love the wood chipper. Hell yeah. Big love and respect to you. Dave said, thank you for keeping your humanity through all of your difficulties. What kept you going to be a loving person through all this? Much love, brother. Well, here's the thing is that, like, I gave up on myself, bro. But there were people that never gave up on me, even when I deserved to be given up on. And those people helped me keep my humanity. And also coming back to finding a relationship with God was huge for me. And I try not to ever get preachy or anything like that, but I do have to give the glory because this is not of my own accord. And I'm just blessed and graced to be here every single day. Urban interface living, high profile charges. Yeah, absolutely high profile charges. That's going to be another factor is when you go into prison on high profile charges, you being able to fuck someone up, stab them, beat them up or whatever. It's like when I was in Oregon State Penitentiary, I put hands on the happy face killer so that I could tell everybody when I got out, hey, I got to put hands on a serial killer. Now, the fight was weak. I got like one halfway decent swing off on him, and he started backing up and then took off. And like, I didn't really I hit him in the back of the head like a couple times, but it was running swings are always weird and different. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to shoot a moving target. But I can always say that I did that. So these dudes, it's going to be like a notch on their belt. It adds to their lore. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to lore max and shit in prison, going after high profile people is a definite way to do that. I want to get in here and I want you guys to see exactly. It's crazy to me. So like, I understand on a level how his daughter is really into this, but like while this was happening and he was trying to stab himself, apparently it happened while she was like freaking smooth out. So I want to try and find the video that I saw about that. Let's see if this is it. No, this might be it. No, this might be it. Here, let's check this out. So we are going to check this out real quick. I want you guys to see how dedicated his daughter is to him. It really is. It's kind of touching. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of touching how much his daughter is standing on business for him. In a way, it's touching. In another way, it's like, fuck, is the whole family mentally ill? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this is cool and touching, or do you think this is a sign of mental illness genetically passed down?
I want to bring in attorney, retired NYPD inspector, and Fox News contributor Paul Morrow joining our coverage now as we do know that the verdict is in. We are awaiting that, Paul. Want to get your thoughts as I play out this sound from, speaking of bizarre moments, as Jonathan was just detailing, this sound from his daughter, Ruth's daughter, as she was exiting the courtroom there in Fort Pierce, Florida yesterday. Listen.
Were you surprised he didn't want to take the stand in his own behalf?
No, why would he do that when they've been bullying him at every turn and making up and lying and fabricating evidence? And yeah, why would he take that risk when no one's being honest in the courtroom and everything's against him? So.
All right, so Fox News alert in here. We've got the verdict is in, guilty on all charges. Count one so far, we know guilty unanimously. Paul, get your
So this is kind of just going back into what we've already heard. He was found guilty on all charges. You could see that his daughter seems pretty dedicated to the guy, which I believe, I mean, that's admirable. I think there's levels at which I'm like, you know what, like, it's pretty fucked up. But she's claiming that he's innocent and that they're lying on him and they're fabricating evidence. Like the evidence was really clear. I don't think there's any mistake on where the evidence landed. Like it seemed really clear. Also, Matt, I see you in the chat. I see you kind of getting testy with the mods. Please don't do that. Show a little bit of respect. The mods are here. They work hard to keep this a safe place for everyone in the chat, including you. And they're here all the time. And I'm just going to let you know right now, anybody who disrespects my mods, they need to be booted out of here. I don't tolerate that shit. If you have an issue, say some shit to me. I put my face up here and I'm fully willing to take the consequences of that. But if you hassle my fucking mods or other people in this community, you will be removed. And I won't feel bad about that. I respect everybody's freedom of speech, but if you're being a disrespectful cunt, you're going to get the fucking claw, bro. Know what I mean? Moto Rocker, what's up? Love you, brother. Charlie definitely brought me closer to God. Proud to be a part of your family. Thank you so much, brother. I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm sorry that I sort of stutter-stepped. There seemed to be a few different words in there that I kind of fell off on a little bit. I'm going to jump over here and see if we can find some of this live, because there might be breaking stuff. And I want to hear if there's anything about this dude's medical condition, because he did try to stab himself in the courtroom right when they found him guilty. He tried to stab himself, which is absolutely nuts, bro. It's absolutely nuts that he, like, seeing that type of shit in a courtroom is kind of unheard of. But, you know, since he was defending himself, he was able to grab some sort of a pen or a pencil, and he tried to take himself out. Let's see. Any updates? Found guilty. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see what Trump has to say. He made a big purchase of a lot of different American products. They've got plenty of money. They've got plenty of oil and plenty of money. Oil usually goes along with the money, but they've done very well as a country, and he has been a really great leader. And it's an honor to be with you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please. Come on, talk about the verdict.
Во-первых, большое спасибо, уважаемый господин президент, что вы говорите и делаете. Вы сказали, что мы сегодня встретимся. Вот и встречаемся. Я очень благодарен вам за это. Я поздравляю вас с такой...
I don't speak Uzbekistanish. Anybody understand what he's saying? I mean, that's Russian, right? They speak Russian in Uzbekistan. Is that what it is? Somebody let me know in the comments. I don't know much about Uzbekistan. I'm not Uzbekistanian.
Глубокое выступление сегодня утром на сессии Организации Объединенных Наций. Это было просто феноменально. Все по всем вопросам вы точки поставили.
Okay, wrap it up, Ho. I'm not doing this old Uzbekistan shit, bro. What the fuck?
To congratulate you that you are really.
Yeah, I don't care about the congratulations on the re-election.
Mr. President, Ryan Ruth, the man who tried to assassinate
Yes,
you.
here we go.
Guilty. What is your response?
Well, I'm very appreciative of the justice that was given and the way it was handled by Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche and everybody that it's been, and their team of people. It was really well handled, and it's very important. You can't let things like that happen. Nothing to do with me, but a president or even a person. You can't allow that to happen. And so justice was served, and we'll see what happens. But I very much appreciate the judge and jury and everybody on that. It was so professionally handled, and it's a great honor. Great honor.
Mr. President, you're meeting with Muslim Arab.
Okay, so that's what Donald Trump had to say about it. He approves of him being found guilty. Shocking that he would approve of the man that tried to murder him being found guilty. So I assume that this dude's sentencing is going to be pushed out probably into October. So we won't know what he's actually going to get sentenced of until October. But I can tell you right now what's happening to him. He might be going in for like a medical examination, since he tried to in the courtroom with a pen or a pencil. That might be a thing. But regardless of that, afterwards, they're going to put him in sewer slide watch. You know, the Epstein-y watch, which we all saw how well that worked out for Epstein. He ended up Epstein either way. But yeah, he's going to probably end up going into one of those. He'll either be in a turtle suit, which is like, you see it, it's like a green robe type thing, but it's made out of like fire retardant and tear proof material, so you can't tear it and use a piece to yourself. That's kind of what they do. They either give you a turtle suit, or, and they do this a lot in Florida, you guys. I saw this a lot in Florida. They put people in a butt naked cell. What a butt naked cell is it's a lot like it sounds. It's a cell where they put you in and you're booty ass naked, and they just lock you up in a booty ass naked cell, and there'll be like a camera in the corner of the cell So you'll be in there and you'll just be booty ass, and up in that corner, there's going to be a camera just pointed at you 24/7. In Volusia County Jail, they had the camera, but they also would have inmates walking by and observing every 15 minutes. There was literally a job they would force you to do, or you'd go to the hole as an inmate, where you'd have to go through every 15 minutes and look at butt-naked dudes that were actually 4-point restrained to a bed. 4-point restraints is where they get your wrists and they get your ankles and they restrain you to the bed booty ass naked. Now, this is something that could definitely be happening to Ryan Ruth right now. He could definitely be on his way to that. Once he gets to prison, though, he is going to be a very hated individual. They are going to want to get at his ass. They're going to want to get at his neck. They're going to want to get this dude. This dude is not going to have an easy run. And especially considering there's a high likelihood he's going to be doing 30 years. 30 years of this shit. I don't see him making it. Hands down, flat out, I don't see this dude making it for 30 years in prison. I'm just going to call it right now. I don't think this dude is going to survive this. I think this is going to be this dude's end. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments on that. Now, I want to jump in here and grab a couple of these. We've got Moon Valley Ridge Homestead. I always agree with the mods. Big love to you and big love to the mods. We got Ray Gould. JD, if he caught both Fed and state charges, is this one of the two trials? Yep. Or were the Fed and state charges tried concurrently at this one trial? No, they would do the trials one at a time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's and honestly, the Charlie Kirk shooter, I guarantee you he's going to have Fed charges as well. They're going to bring up charges against the Charlie Kirk shooter, but they're doing the Utah state charges first. The Fed charges are probably not just going to include him. I can almost guarantee you at this point, the Charlie Kirk shooter case, when it comes to federal, they're going to have other people that were complicit or active participants in this. They're investigating a shitload of other people because there were people who went out and posted about this the night before. Like, wait till you see what happens to Charlie Kirk tomorrow. And like, that is the most like mentally deficient shit that you could possibly do. You have to be a real fucking moron to let people know that you are a co-conspirator in a situation where somebody's getting assassinated beforehand, because all it takes for you to be considered a conspirator and catch a conspiracy charge. And remember, this is aggravated murder in the first degree. This is a capital punishment. This is a death penalty case. So for anybody who is a co-conspirator, you can get the same exact sentencing that the person who actually pulled the trigger pulled. And that happens with conspiracy cases where it's human trafficking, drug trafficking, hits, assassinations, any of that shit. So these people literally put themselves at risk of losing their lives. It's more likely that people who knew about it but weren't directly involved would get like life in prison, but they threw their lives away doing this. So we'll see the state charges, and then we're going to see federal charges with that as well. I believe that Ryan Ruth is going to have to go through a whole nother trial. He's going to get found guilty of that as well. And they're going to stack this shit. There's very little chance that they're going to run this stuff concurrent. Like, I think that this dude is probably cooked out for the rest of his entire life. I don't see any way he's going to get out of this other trial. Little Country 14, what's up? I want to ask Trump why America don't protect our children as passionately as we do our boats. My dude, hell yes. Why do we protect banks and money more than we protect our children? Why do we protect anything more than we protect our children? They're the most innocent, the most vulnerable, and they are the future of our country. I agree with you 10 million %, homie. Isaac Holder said, there's 1,286 days sober. And your merch quality is awesome now that you're on Bunker from a fellow Pepperback Plop. Hey, congratulations on the time in recovery. That is beautiful. I love you. We're all in this together. Hell yeah, bro. And thank you so much for the kind words on the merch. Real quick, while we're on the subject, we just added, and I don't know if anybody's seen this yet, but we just added the, hold on. Let's get it up here. Let's get it up. I can't believe I'm saying that. This will take just half a second. I want to show you guys this. This is important since we're speaking on it. This is the brand new Wood Chipper 2028 merch. So if you are a part of the Wood Chipper party, you don't feel like a Republican or a Democrat, or you feel like either side, you just feel like they don't protect kids enough, we got the Wood Chipper 2028 shirts and tank tops up. A lot of people saw the Wood Chipper 2024 shit, and they were like, update that so that we can continue to have it. So we did that. And as of just this morning, I just talked to my rep over there at the amazing Bunker Branding, and they told me that they now have the Wood Chipper 2028 hats up, which I think are absolutely lit, bro. Like, I love these hats. I love that they're very patriotic. They got the flag up on it. I think that shit is lit. So for anybody who wants to check out the new merch, it's at bunkerbranding.com. And there is a link in my bio if you want to check it out. I would love for all of us to be repping this stuff. And, you know, it helps us, as it says right there on it, to make pedophiles afraid again. And big shout out to Bunker Branding. They have been incredible to work with. I love them. So we are going to hear from Blue. Gideon accidentally interviewed the guy on a college campus, and he was trying to recruit people to join him in assassinating Trump. Where is that footage? Where is that footage? Hold up, swolled up. Bro, are you dead ass? Let's see if we can find that footage real quick, because I want to see Gideon talking to this dude, man. That shit sounds sick as fuck. Let me see if I can. Holy shit, you guys. Dude, thank you so much for letting me know. Let me get this up on screen. Gideon actually interviewed this Trump shooter dude. Oh my God. Dude, you're a gangster for that. Thank you. Let's look at this. What in
the Ukrainians have a right to fight back.
I don't do paper, though.
I don't care if you do paper or not. I'm looking for revolutionaries. What number of people want to take this whole system down?
Bro, I'm a veteran. Like, do you need me?
What kind of veteran are you?
Bro, I served in Nuketown.
Well, I think it's better to serve and fight in the powers, fucking over the system.
Bro, give me a Glock and a Hellcat. Bro, but I don't do paper, though. I just told you that.
Dude, then get away. We don't need people who aren't serious. If you're not serious.
Bro, give me a Glock and a Hellcat. Yeah! Bro, Gideon's fucking lit. That shit's fucking lit. Look at this nut out there in the snow trying to recruit people.
I'm serious, but I don't do paper, bro. You're literally killing the environment.
We're moving on. You go ahead, have your lunch.
No, bro, I'm going to class. I'm a scholar.
Go to class.
What the hell was that, bro? He's telling him he's environmentally conscious, and the dude's like, no, be a revolutionary. Okay, cool. Give me a Glock and a Hellcat. Bro, you're a fool for that, Jid. You are an absolute fool for that. I got to hit him up, bro. I got to hit Gideon up and tell him that I saw that, and I think he's absolutely lit for that shit. That shit was hilarious, dude. Holy shit. Blue, thank you so much for letting me know that that was a thing. That was sick, bro. That was absolutely sick. Unrested Tank said, I got an effed joke if y'all want to hear it. I want to hear all jokes. I want to hear all jokes, and I prefer if jokes are not appropriate. Russ the Lion, I made a bet with my coworker on how a nuisance employee will react if he gets fired for his laziness. I put $50 on the line in his bet, and this nuisance has been here for over a year. Holy shit, dog. That's crazy. Big love and respect to you, my guy. Dennis, I appreciate that support. Andrew Bender, why would he be hated? I thought prisoners care if it's elderly or children. Am I wrong about that? Well, look, man, this dude tried to take out somebody who was and then became the president of the United States again. And in the feds, Donald Trump is very loved because he pushed through the First Step Act. First Step Act let thousands of people in federal prisons out that were sentenced unfairly and unlawfully, but the government was just taking advantage of the shit, and they were just locking people up for crazy amounts of time. And you got to understand, Florida is a wildly red state, bro. There's a lot of dudes locked up that are Trump fans. And, you know, that dude looks elderly and he looks like a twink, but I don't think he's genuinely elderly. He's just kind of an older dude. That dude can get the business, bro. Bipolar Bear, off topic. YouTube is great only because of people like you who offer expertise. Demonetization is a scam. They still play ads on demonetized vids. Tubers should do a class action. Are they literally putting ads on videos that aren't monetized? Is that a real thing? Because that would be really, truly fucked up. Like the other day when we did the Charlie Kirk Memorial, I had super low views because I refused to monetize it because it seemed ghoulish. If they were running ads on that, I would have been super pissed, bro. I would have been super pissed. Roman Wolf Gaming. How will Tyler's time be around other inmates? So I have a full length that Doc, my new editor / producer, is editing right now that's going to get into a lot of detail about that. But that dude is going to have a really hard fucking time, bro. That dude's, we're going to go into full detail in the full length, but that dude is going to have a really hard time. Captain Happy's Arcana Adventures. What's up? I'm late. What did he do to his neck? Just wood chippering. Hey, Captain, glad to have you here. So the dude got found guilty on all counts. And as you know, he tried to assassinate President Trump. He got found guilty of attempted murder. They're going to give this dude 30 years. He got all 5 counts. I estimate 30 years. If not 30 years, something real close to that shit. And so he was representing himself, so he had access to pens and pencils. And he tried to take himself out, stabbing himself in the neck. And he got tackled. And his daughter was screaming in the courtroom that whole time. So it sounded like it blew up into an absolute shit show, brother. Dominic, the way we treat children now will determine the way our country will be in the future. Your thoughts, Chipper Tribe. I think you are 1,000% on point, and I think that's why there are so many people focusing attacks through teachers. I think that's why we have so many nut job teachers. I got a short that's going to come out here as soon as I get off here showing what a teacher was doing to literally poison students. There are so many attacks on teachers, whether it be through sexual assault, whether it be through indoctrination, whether it be through physical violence. And this teacher was literally poisoning students at his own school. What the fuck is going on, bro? Unrested Tank. Pedophiles are the best drivers. They are most likely to drive the speed limit or slower, and they are considerate enough to slow down at school zones and residential neighborhoods. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And here's the thing, bro, is like besides raping kids, pedophiles are classically fairly law-abiding. And that's exactly why, like, when they go into prison, a lot of COs like the pedophiles because the pedophiles are not likely to beat them up. They're not likely to stab them. They're not likely to talk back. They're not likely to give them any shit. They don't have any spine or backbone when they're in prison, these fucking pedos. They're not convicts. They're not criminals. They're creatures. They're demons. But they don't act out against authority. So that kind of reminds me of that. The slowing down at school zones shit. That's dark ass humor, dog. I love you. Feth the Exorcist. When do you think Chris Hansen will investigate VR chat? After 7 years of experience there, I could say it's just as bad, if not worse than Roblox. I don't know if Chris is hip to that. I'm not very educated on what's going on in VR chat, but that's actually something that I can take to him and talk to him about. Me and Chris are really good friends. I really love Chris. So that's something that I could explore talking to him about. And maybe we could look into that together and start doing an investigation and maybe pull some busts over VRs. Thank you for the suggestion. Unrested Tank. Also, simply because I had to hear this, y'all have to as well. Oh no, it's gonna be bad, guys. Where I work, there's a creature who has the most hand-in-hand assault and sexual battery case I've ever heard of. Most hand-in-hand? Ooh. So like a violent sexual battery case. Ooh. It's so, like, here's the thing is I feel so bad because there's so many people out there who are in situations where they have to have their job. They're working their job. They have to work there. And they end up having to work beside these creatures. And I've had so many people ask me, like, bro, what should I do? And it's like, I can tell you what I would want to do. I can tell you what is going to land you in prison. But I always feel bad because it's like, I kind of want to tell you some shit that I probably shouldn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of a hard question. I also never want to incite violence over the internet. We've talked a lot about that. It's really fucking retarded to go on the internet and incite violence, particularly for political reasons. I feel like, you know, we talk a lot about putting pedophiles feet first into wood chippers here. And I want to do that, full stop. But I want it to be incorporated into the law, and I want it to be publicly broadcast. I want broadcast executions of these maggots where everybody can see it. That's what I'm talking about when I say we need to put people in wood chippers. I want it to be through due process, constitutionally due process. And then I want to lower them in feet first. I only want one appeal. I don't think we should have them be on death row for 30 or 40 fucking years. Fuck that. You get one appeal, and if you get found guilty a second time, if 12 people twice are like, that dude raped kids, he gets lowered in, bro, on slow mode. Wood chipper type shit. Andrew Bender. Got it. Thank you for that information, brother. I've messaged you on Insta if you ever get time for it. I'm sure you get a lot of messages. God bless, bro. Andrew, I will go and look for it. I will warn you, bro. I get so many messages on Insta. It is unmanageable, dog. Like, it is multiple per minute on Insta. It is crazy. Unrested Tank. Super chat won't let me say what happened. It'll be in the comments. I'm going to go look for that. Unrested. I'm having a problem for some reason. My iPad won't let me view anything right now, and I'm not sure why that is. So I'm looking on this itty bitty tiny little phone, and it's super obnoxious. And I'm looking for it. Did you drop it in there yet? Because I don't see your profile picture in any of these. Maybe you haven't dropped it in there yet, but I would love to hear the shit that they won't let you say. Did you guys hear? Did you guys actually hear that YouTube is reinstating hundreds of accounts that they took down during the Biden administration? Because the Biden administration forced them to censor people in mass, and they banned accounts. And now they're giving those people their accounts back. I don't ever want to hear anybody who supported the Biden administration talk about freedom of speech ever the fuck again. Okay, I want to address this real quick. The War Motor. Bro, you and Eugene ever listen to Floater? I grew up hanging out with Floater. Those are my good friends. Rest in peace, Pete Coronet. Pete Coronet taught me a lot on drums. I actually did work as his drum tech at shows and would go out on the road with them, you know, when they would go play in Albany and Portland sometimes. I love Rob. I love Dave. I've known them since I dropped out of high school because the school officer dragged me into the principal's office and they said, we know you're selling LSD. We know you're selling weed. You can either drop out or we're going to build a case against you and you're going to go to juvie. And so I dropped out and then went and got it was like 2 weeks later, I got my GED because I was so far ahead of my class on everything that I was able to get my GED like 2 weeks later. But I started working at Elemental Records as an intern. And hanging out with Floater and the Daddies and Jollymon and Henry's Child, all those dudes, I grew up with them. from, when I was still a minor. I was hanging out, smoking weed with all those dudes, man. Joe Studebaker, not judging the struggle, just got back from Thailand and Bali. Let people know they have the death penalty for people trying to bring in narcotics. So if you're trying to bring in narcotics to Thailand or Bali, don't. Maybe just fucking don't. If you're going to Thailand, maybe just enjoy some good Thai food. Get some Thai lady boys or whatever it is that you're into, but don't try to sneak narcotics in there. Joe, I really want to go to Thailand and Bali because I've heard they're beautiful. What was your experience? Did you enjoy your time there, man? Because I've always wanted to go. I'm a huge Thai food fan. I love me some spicy Thai food. I drive Jack's nuts with how much I want to eat Thai food, just to be real with you. Henry Defense and Customs. It's Lucas Henry. Lucas, what's up? I started my gun company and a Substack with free content, hoping to get your gun rights back so I can build you something. Dude, yes, please and thank you. So I heard that they're actually moving forward and that in October, they're actually going to be taking applications for people to get their gun rights back if you are a non-violent felon, which I have a lot of felonies, but they all been non-violent, homie. They've all been non-violent. So, I'm really hoping that I can get my gun rights restored to me. I don't think they could really categorize me as a violent felon. The only thing I've ever had that might be a little sketchy, but really, honestly, when you think about it, it probably shouldn't be. I have a felon in possession of a firearm charge. So that's the only thing that maybe makes me think they might give me a double look, but all my other shit is really simple, non-violent felonies. I love you, Lucas. It's good to see you. Quibbly Danger just hopped on. Recap me, J Daddy. I will if you promise never to call me daddy again. I don't like it. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. I love you. No disrespect, but I don't like the daddy thing. It creeps me out. I've never liked it when girls call me daddy or any of that shit, bro. It seems weird. But so what happened is the Ryan Ruth dude who tried to assassinate Donald Trump on the golf course in Florida was just found guilty on all 5 counts. Unanimous jury verdict. 12 people were like, this dude did this shit. Now, it's also important to keep in mind that this dude represented himself on this case, which is a full-on mental midget move. You are mentally retarded if you think that you are going to be able to represent yourself in court. Even if you're a lawyer, you should not represent yourself in court. Lawyers will tell you, I would not represent myself in court. But this dude, clearly, there's something wrong with this dude. So he tried, he failed, he got found guilty on all charges, and he grabbed a pen or a pencil, it's not clear which, off the desk and stabbed himself in the neck, trying to take himself out in the courtroom while his daughter was screaming at the top of her lungs, my dad's not guilty! I love my dad! I love my dad! And he's like, ugh. Total courtroom crash out. Fucking objectively hilarious shit, bro. He's okay. If he was actually dead, I totally wouldn't be saying it was objectively hilarious. But, the crash out with him ineffectively trying to Epstein himself in a courtroom, and his daughter, daddy, type shit. Funny. Absolutely funny. Texas T, Super Chat won't let us say anything. What is going on? What is it that they are trying to censor today? YouTube be doing this shit, man. It drives me crazy. Halloos, who are your favorite pred catchers? Gideon, Skeeter Jean, Alex Rawson. They're all really great. And I love that they get people time. I really like Tim from People vs. Preds. He's not as well known, but he puts up huge numbers. He doesn't do it for views. He doesn't do it for clicks. He doesn't do it for money. He's just out there putting up huge numbers. And every time he comes to Albany, Oregon, he like the last time he took down 23 people in 2 days. 23 people in 2 days. Like the Albany police were like, you're overwhelming us. You're calling us out here too much. You're catching too many pedophiles in our community, which is wild work. It's wild work. But I really like him. I think he's really amazing. He's probably my favorite just because he puts up so many fucking numbers, dog. And of course, the OG, my good friend, Mr. Christopher Hansen. A lot of people don't know that Chris Hansen is still out here doing his thing. He doesn't have To Catch a Predator anymore, but he does still have a show. It's on his True Blue network. I've gotten to go out and do busts with him. He's absolutely incredible. Unrested Tank said, what happened is a little about Henry's Defense super chat. Okay. And then Henry's Defense says, if you get your rights back, you thinking a 338 LM? I'm not that wildly educated on guns because I've just always had to buy them off the streets, dog. And I always got the most common gun with the most common ammo because just for availability. And I often would have to ditch my guns. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a high-speed chase, you got to, you're getting pulled over, you got to throw that bitch out the window. The second you fire that bitch off in something, you got to get rid of it and get a new one because they're looking for that gun and it can tie you to crimes. So I always just got burners, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when people get little burner phones, I ran through burner guns like that, dog. So I would have to educate myself a whole lot more on guns. And I would probably talk to my homeboy, Brandon Herrera, for Congress about that. Him and Donut Operator have already said, hey, if you get your rights restored, we'll hook you up, dog. Those dudes got tons of guns. Patty Lynn, thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you. Big love to you. Hell yes. So I want to watch this again because I just thought this was too good. We were talking about the dude who tried to assassinate President Trump, and somebody came in and told us that Gideon actually interviewed this dude, and watch how this goes.
The Ukrainians have a right to fight back.
I don't do paper, though.
I don't care if you do paper or not. I'm looking for revolutionaries. What number of people want to take this whole system down?
Bro, I'm a veteran. Like, do you need me?
What kind of veteran are you?
Bro, I served in Nuketown.
Well, I think it's better to serve and fight in the powers. Fucking over the system.
Bro, give me a Glock and a Hellcat. Bro, but I don't do paper, though. I just told you that.
Dude, we don't need people who aren't serious. If you're not serious.
I'm serious, but I don't do paper, bro. You're literally killing the environment.
We're moving on. You go ahead.
No, bro, I'm going to class. I'm a
Class,
scholar.
then. Go to class.
You're literally killing the environment. That shit was lit, bro. That was hilarious. I absolutely loved that.
First, though, we want to
where are we going
about
into?
the alt-right. In a recent
Who is
speech,
this
Hillary
Milo
Clinton
dude?
basically referred
Who
to
is
you
Milo?
and other people, didn't name you directly, but she quoted the Wall Street Journal. She said, alt-right is short for alternative right. The Wall Street Journal describes it as a loose but organized movement, mostly online, that, quote, rejects mainstream conservatism.
Okay, so this dude was really doing his thing back when I was like strung out and fucking up, and I don't really know who this Milo dude is. Does anybody know anything about this Milo Yiannopoulos dude? Please let me know in the chat what's up with this Milo dude. Is he cuckoo or is he lit?
Nationalism and views on immigration and multiculturalism as threats to white identity. The de facto merger between Breitbart and the Trump campaign represents a landmark achievement.
So Milo is a gay conservative. Milo is Charlie times 10. Milo is great, and he said he's back. I know that he said he's back. Milo is rude, Republican smartass, but smart, and he knows his shit. Okay. Milo is based. Hung out with Yee and Fuentes. Okay, so look, man. Look. Sometimes Fuentes is actually based. Sometimes he's actually based. Lit but canceled. You can't cancel anyone, you guys. Canceling doesn't work, especially now. There is zero possibility that in the year 2025 you can cancel. The only people who can get canceled are people who actually give a fuck. Maybe if you're on the left, you can get canceled because they're so unreasonable they love to cannibalize themselves and each other. But like, you can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a fuck. So if Milo is one of these people like myself who doesn't give a fuck, I'm just a dude with an internet fucking access. What are you going to do? You going to come rip me out of my studio? You going to try to take my phone from me? You can't cancel me, bro. I'll be back on tomorrow. Say what you got to say. It's a free country. And I'm going to use that. And you're welcome to tell everybody, don't fuck with JD. I'll still do it if there's only one person in chat, dog. If there's only one person in the motherfucking chat, I'm going to still come and run my neck. They can't really cancel anybody. I don't understand why in the year 2025, people are still afraid of getting canceled. Like, I mean, if you do something like molest a kid, groom a kid, the shit like with Destiny, where he admitted he has CP on his phone and he has multiple grooming allegations. Okay, cancel that piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? But the left doesn't cancel people just because they're child predators. They cancel you for using mean words. They cancel you for not going along with their narrative. So, like, I don't understand why anybody who is alt-right would be worried about getting canceled. We don't give a fuck. We don't pull that pussy ass shit. Snake Oil Sean said, hey JD, thanks for your vids. Much appreciated. Love you, Sean. Thank you, bro. Silent Thoughts. Sure, Gideon is funny, but after he mocked the anthem, I can't watch him the same. He did what now? He mocked the national anthem? I don't like that shit. I don't like that Hillary Clinton is on my screen right now. I'm sorry, we're going to get back into that here in a minute, but God, it sucks that she's on the screen. Intellectual iconoclasm. Tell Brandon you want him to get you a lady boy. He'll know what it means, and you'll truly love it. I don't want a lady boy, bro. I do not want a lady boy. I love Brandon Herrera, but I do not want a lady boy. I'm very, very, very married. Mrs. Jax, very beaucoup. Sound the alarm. JD, back in May, I emailed you via web BV regarding the rampant CSA and Jehovah's Witnesses. I'd love to give you more info on it. It needs exposure. So what you emailed was my advertising agency that's in a complete and total different state. That's, as it said in the bio right next to it, that's not a way to contact me. You contacted my advertising agency. Hit me up on Instagram. Wesley E. Hey, JD. Just wanted to say I genuinely support and love your content. You deeply remind me of my father who passed away of a fentanyl OD in 2021. Yo, rest in peace to Pops, man. Rest in peace to Pops. And after I started watching you, much love, JD. I'm glad that you're here. And, I've lost a child to fentanyl poisoning. So I get you, man. You're not alone in this. Darth Knox, suggestion, since YouTube stuffs ads on all the things, monetize and donate profit from those vids you would otherwise not. Don't let YouTube just profit. So here's the thing is that it just felt gross to me to try to monetize Charlie Kirk's memorial. And we actually did a poll in the chat asking if anybody thought that I should actually do that. But at the end of the day, it just felt too gross, bro. I really didn't want to make any money off of that. And I donated the money from the supers that I got. Quibbly Danger. Milo is a formerly gay guy who got Trump elected in 2016. Oh, really? That was like at the height of me using. I was real strung out in the state of Florida and doing real bad then. So I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on in the world. I was printing credit cards, dog. I was selling fucking pounds and pounds of dope. So thank you for educating me. And he's formerly gay. So he is he's recovering from the deal. No more deal. That's cool. I wonder how he did that. Lock Kraken. I like my Springfield Hellcat Pro, but honestly, Brandon and Donut probably can steer you right. I love Springfield Armories, bro. My favorite gun that I ever had was a Springfield Armory subcompact 9mm. That thing was cherry, and I about cried when I had to ditch it, bro. I was real sad. Patty Lynn, I'm a big fan, but most of all, I'm your big sister. I am so grateful to have you tell me the truth about the world we live in today. Patty, this is a big hug for you, sis. I love you, big sister. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you more than you know, Patty. CJ, are you tracking what's happening in LA with an artist named David and the girl found in the trunk of a Tesla. I've heard about it. I've been so consumed with the other stuff that's been going on. I really haven't had a chance to check into it. I also need to look into the law that they're about to pass in the state of California that it mimics the law in the UK. Anybody living in the state of California, watch this bill that is waiting. It's just waiting on Gavin Newsom's desk for him to sign. If he signs it, you will be able to be arrested for making offensive posts on social media. And I don't want to see you get arrested, or mainly they're going to be doing fines. But they can fine you up to like $50,000, I believe is what it said. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it said, for offensive social media posts in the state of California. That is communist bullshit. That is, we need to do something federally about that shit. Because if you start giving people fines for saying things that the state government finds offensive on social media, that is not America. That is unconstitutional as fuck. POWCOD, yo JD, I just fixed a wood chipper today. Love you. Love you too, man. Thank you for your servicing the wood chipper. Texas T, the left thinks Charlie was hard. Milo goes harder. He's 10 times a flamethrower melting the snow flurries. He's awesome. Well, now I'm really excited to check him out because apparently he pisses people off. And as somebody who pisses people off, even though I'm not like a part of either political party, I tend to piss people off. I like to watch it happen. Long Road Farms, wood chipper, wood chipper. Love you, family. Thank you so much. Lock Kraken, get out Chippy. Oh, hell yeah. Anna Dollhart, as a woman who's holding it down for her man on the inside, yo, I just want to say how much I respect that. Because I saw so many people that, prison ruined their relationships. I was with a girl for 6 years when I went into prison. She hit me up like right when I was still in county and I just gotten sentenced to 39 months. And she's like, it's too long. And I was like, I get it. You're good. I don't want to do that type of time. She said, I thank you for helping me feel better while he's in. You and Jumpsuit are out here doing God's work. Thank you so much. Sis, Anna, I have so much respect for you. That loyalty shows such a depth of character. And hopefully your guys' relationship just gets stronger through this and he gets out and never has to go back in. I am pulling for you guys. I am praying for you guys. What an amazing love that you two share, that you would hold it down for him while he's in there. Not many people can do that, sis. Gus, Texas. JD, love to help you get your 2A rights reinstated. Also, love my It Is What It Tism tank I bought from you. Wearing it about 2 times a week. Cordially, Tistic Tex, attorney. Dude, Gus, you're an attorney in Texas and you'd like to help me get my 2A rights restored? I would genuinely appreciate that, bro. Please let me know how I can get a hold of you, man. I don't know if you're on Insta or anything. I don't know what your Insta handle is. Please let me know how I can get a hold of you because I would love to talk to you about that. And it is so awesome and it is such an honor that you are wearing the Is What It Tism shirt, man. Big love and respect to you, my guy. Cheerio. Love you and thank you for that. Alan and Son. JD, you remind me of my best friend from childhood who passed away last year. We never agreed on 100% of everything, but he was my brother. It's very comforting and strange that you two are similar. Well, I'm glad that I can give that to you. As you might know, my child that passed, his name was Alan. So what a strange coincidence all that is. And I love you, man. I really appreciate you. Let's see a little bit more about the return of Milo, shall we?
For the alt-right. Are you the alt-right? And what is the alt-right?
No, I mean, I've never identified as the alt-right. The press seems determined to crown me the queen of it. All I've done is give them a fair hearing in the press. I think that white identity and white nationalism is a little misleading. I think it's more accurate to say that the alt-right cares about Western supremacy rather than white supremacy. It cares about Western values. It cares about liberal, capitalist, Western democracy, democratic values, freedom, equality, that kind of thing. And it sees, various threats to those on various fronts.
So when Donald Trump talks about preventing immigrants, preventing Muslims from coming into the country, a lot of people see that as racist. You don't think that's racist?
They're entitled to, but all I can tell you is, as a gay man, I'm quite reassured by Donald Trump's, entreaties toward American values and his skepticism about Islamic immigration.
So, here's the thing is, he just said, what I think he said right there is really important. They're entitled to their opinion. And I think that's really important because regardless of what else he's saying, it's pretty fucking obvious that he respects other people's rights to disagree with him, which is something that we don't see as much from the left, which is why, like, honestly, I've lost a lot of respect for a lot of the people that I fucked with on the left because it didn't used to be like that. We used to all be able to agree to disagree and it was cool. And now if you disagree on anything, literally any little thing, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're literally Hitler, which is crazy work to me. So far, while I might not agree with, I don't know if I agree or disagree with this dude, I do like that aspect of him.
Hillary Clinton quotes my headlines, and suggests that this is some kind of sinister, dark underbelly of American
What do you mean by
society.
American values?
Well, the First and Second Amendment, freedom of speech, free expression, the right to be, do, and say whatever you want. These are the values that have made America the greatest country in the history of human civilization.
I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy, not gonna lie.
These are values that are not compatible with some of the Islamic immigration that we see in Europe. And, I guess I'm over here as a warning from Europe saying, please don't go the same way as Germany and the UK.
If you are, or if you're not part of the.
And so I think this is an older interview, but like we've seen in real time, especially lately, how that's worked out for the UK. They have the biggest fucking protest that they've ever seen. Over 1 million people, Tommy Robinson leading them because of what it's become over there. So this was an older interview and we could clearly see how that has actually turned out. And here we have, hold on, this is important. Cheerio said, love from the commie UK. I fucking hate my government. Right there. Beautifully, intrinsically timed that you would say that, bro. I love you and I'm sorry for what you guys are going through over there. It's really not fair, man. Dominar said, when you get your 2A rights back, let's see your first time popping a cap. So I absolutely will be going, once I get my Second Amendment rights back, my homeboy, Valhalla VFT, some of you guys know him, great dude. He also has a channel called American Thor. He is a Green Beret. He worked a lot of special ops. He lives 15 minutes from me. He has a range out there nearby his house. I'll also be going to Range Day at the Unsubscribe podcast with those dudes. So you guys will definitely, once I get my Second Amendment rights back, you will see me doing things like taking gun safety courses, getting a concealed carry, learning to be, because my experience with guns is street and it's probably not the best. You know what I'm saying? I will be educating myself. I will be training myself. I will be doing everything to the letter of the law, the way that I do everything in my life these days. I follow everything to the letter of the law because that's really important to me. Even as somebody who has 58 felonies, I respect my freedom. I respect the order and rule of law. And so if I get my Second Amendment rights back, I'll be pursuing doing everything the correct way.
Described alt-right. Do you, as a gay man, feel comfortable in it? That the people who embrace other elements of what we just described as the alt-right, you know what I'm driving at.
I understand the question.
Do you feel comfortable in it?
The press seems determined to label the alt-right this misogynist, hateful, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic movement, and yet at the same time tries to crown, a gay Jew who never shuts up about his black boyfriends as the leader of it. Something isn't quite right here.
So I'm just going to tell you right now, I have a lot of gay friends that are way more conservative than I have ever been. Like way more conservative. I have trans friends that are hella conservative. You know what I'm saying? I think it's weird that they think that it's bigoted and homophobic and transphobic. Because my experience is I know a lot of people that are gay, lesbian, trans. My good friend Jessie Lawless, she is absolutely a lesbian. And she's very conservative. My friend Conservative Ant, very, very gay man. Very conservative. It's literally in his social media handle, Conservative Ant, because his name's Anthony. And Miss Blair White, very conservative. So I think it's really weird and like they want you to respect gay and trans voices unless they disagree with them, and then they immediately disqualify them, which seems like what Milo is talking about here.
that the alt-right actually attracts those groups of people?
I think there's some overlap on the very, very fringes. And I wrote a very good guide to the alt-right for anyone who's really interested in this. I think it's the only, and I say it's very good, but I think it's the only example in journalism really so far of somebody trying to give an accurate and fair guide to the contours of the movement rather than virtue signaling about saying, oh, racism is bad. Yeah, we know that. I want to know what this movement actually consists of. And so I wrote an establishment conservatives guide to the alt-right. You know, what it is you're getting wrong that the new Republican base, the Trump guys, the alt-right, the Twitter kind of meme and troll brigade, what it is that they're seeking, what they're searching for, what they like and what they don't like.
What are they searching? What are they searching for?
Well, I think there's a sense, aside from the policy positions, and I do think that Trump is tapping into something with immigration stuff, with trade, and Ann Coulter, for instance, her analysis is that people like.
So I've heard nothing but like controversial shit about this dude, that he's like, that he's, an extremist and all of this stuff. He's a gay dude who talks about conservative values while being an openly gay man who has a predilection towards black boyfriends. Doesn't sound very racist to me. Doesn't sound very homophobic to me. This is genuinely not what I expected. Lock Kraken said, I'm not exactly right, but the left keeps making it really hard to like them. Exactly! Fucking exactly, man. Like, help me not think you're a piece of shit, you guys. Like, be reasonable human beings. Have common sense. Use common decency. When somebody dies, don't be out here celebrating it. And I keep hearing them say, well, people on the right do it. I haven't seen it, and I'm chronically fucking online, and I have a lot of people on the right that are in my algorithm just naturally, and I haven't seen it. When these attacks happen on, Nancy Pelosi's husband, I didn't see people on the right celebrating that. I heard a couple jokes that, I don't think that's appropriate. But, for the most part, I see it happening on the left. And it makes them really unlikable to me as well. So I relate to that. Turd Ferguson said, I'd be careful of Milo. He was SA'd as a child and made comments that would have been seen as supporting pedophiles. Said he was coping. Okay, see, and I don't know anything about this dude. I'm unpacking this because it randomly scrolled to a video of this dude, and I've been hearing things about him. Thank you, Turd, for giving me something to look into. I appreciate that. Tony Smiley, how do I find court docs on a person with bad papers? Well, it really depends on whether it's state or federal, but if it's state, you should be able to go to whatever county it is, go to that county's clerk of court site, and you should be able to look up anything that doesn't involve a minor victim. You should be able to get the whole police report. You should definitely, even if it is a minor victim, you should be able to get everything on, what their charges were and whether or not they were convicted. Kitty and Lou, what's up? For us girls, can we get a black and pink Mappa hat? Yes. Thank you for reminding me. We had that over at Convict. And we need to do that over at, I'm going to hit up my bunker people today about that. We're going to make that happen. That is absolutely going to happen. Thank you so much for reminding me. I appreciate you.
Trump for the policies. Mine is a little different. I think that people are getting.
You know what? Let me look this up because Turd said this and it's a little bit concerning. Milo sad story. What would we look this up? Ped? It's so weird because like YouTube makes you not say words that are adult words. So it makes it hard to actually look things up. Let's see. Milo the Duck. How I overcame homosexuality. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Let's look right here.
Between the ages of 13 and 16, 2 men touched me in ways they should not have. One of those men was a priest. My relationship with my abusers is complicated by the fact that at the time, I didn't perceive what was happening as abusive. But I can look back now and see that it was. I still don't view myself as a victim, but clearly I am one. My experiences as a victim led me to believe that I could say almost anything on this subject, no matter how outrageous. But I understand that my usual blend of sassy, gay British sarcasm, provocation, and gallows humor might have come across as flippancy, a lack of care for other victims, or even worse, as seems to have been the case in reports, advocacy. I'm horrified by that impression. I would like to restate my disgust at adults who sexually abuse minors. I regret the things that I said. I don't think I've been as sorry about anything my whole life, and this isn't how I wanted my parents to find out about this either. But let's be clear about what's happening here. This is a cynical media witch hunt from people who do not care about children. They care about destroying me and my career, and by extension, my allies. They know that although I made some outrageous statements, I've never actually done anything wrong. They held this story back. They held the footage back, footage that's been out there in the wild for over a year, because they don't care about victims. They don't care about children. They only care about bringing me down.
So I'm going to say this as somebody who also is a childhood sexual assault survivor. A lot of the time when we have trauma that's too big for us to unpack, which is almost always the case when we are sexually abused as children, it becomes really easy for us to cope using dark humor. Now, I don't know what he said, and I'm not excusing it because I don't know what it is that he actually said. But I will say that there's been times in my life before I even really processed what happened to me where I probably made jokes about what happened to me that others would have found inappropriate. I wasn't joking about other people and their abuse, but I joked about me and my abuse as a way for me to cope with it. So I do understand that there is a level to that, but I can't apply that to what Milo was saying at all whatsoever because I don't know what he said. I just don't know what he said. But I do like that he took accountability and that he spoke out for, if he had damaged any other victims with it. Drew Traver, Gays Against Groomers is better than Queer Kid Stuff YouTube channel. Gays Against Groomers actually has some really cool shit. I actually follow them on Insta, and they're putting out some really consistently good shit. Angry Salt, now that people have common sense, seems like saints these days. Now people that have common sense seem like saints these days. It's pretty crazy and wild how low the bar has sunk, isn't it, Angry? And Joshua Stanley said, I don't know if you've talked about this yet. Here in Lansing, Michigan, there was a kid that got expelled from school for disarming another student. What? Hold up, Swolled Up. Let's see if I can find that. So we are going to check and see, I'm not seeing anything about that. Let's expand that search a little bit. I'm only seeing shit from years ago. Looking up Lansing, Michigan. I see somebody saying former student sues Michigan State over exposure to chemicals. Is this breaking news? Joshua, is this like breaking? Did this just happen? Because I'm finding absolutely nothing on it, my dude. Bug versus windshield. The left controls the media, schools, etc. They're afraid of losing power. People don't like being wrong. If the right can speak the truth, the left may realize they're wrong. This brings violence. And there is like this struggle for our kids these days. There's a struggle for our kids these days. And some of the shit they're pushing on our kids is absolutely unconscionable and unacceptable. And I'm hoping that our kids have enough common sense to, at the point where they rebel enough to find themselves, to come back to sanity in some of these, especially particularly blue states, man. I got a email last night from one of our kids' schools saying that they now are in compliance with Oregon's law about putting tampons in all student restrooms. And they didn't specifically say, hey guys, we just put tampons in the boys' room, but they said all students' restrooms. And they were painting it up like that was like a normal thing. It's it's just a little strange, bro. It's a little strange for kids because this isn't like a high school. This is a younger kid's school. Gus, Texas. Holla, my law partners. Gus, Texas said, holla. My law partners. Hold on, let me take a picture of this so that I can holla, bro. I like to holla. I'm gonna holla at you, Gus. We're gonna make this happen, and I deeply appreciate you. Boom. Thank you so much, bro. Hell yes. I look forward to talking to you more. Aaron Lowry, off topic, but just recently celebrated 7 years without smoking meth or coke. Hell yeah, bro. That is beautiful. I am so proud of you. We are all in this recovery thing together, my man. Big love and respect. And awesome Jake, man, good to see you, Bubba. How you been, dog? Could you see yourself trying for a role on a sequel of Oz if HBO ever does a revival? Maybe bring Big Country? Sure enough. Or Officer Stevens to the small screen? I don't know. I've been down to LA and I've been involved with TV a little bit recently, and I actually have a show coming out soon, but it's more of a documentary about a part of my life. I don't want to be in California. I feel like, especially if Gavin Newsom signs this bill that's on his desk right now, I would get arrested or fined a lot of money in California for saying the shit that I say, which to me is just common sense. I know they're doing a lot of filming in Atlanta and shit like that now. It would just depend on the project and who was doing it, to be honest with you. I would be open to the idea, but it would have to be something that kind of aligns with who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to compromise myself to get opportunities, which is why I turned down 60 Days In long before I even started YouTube. When I was just on TikTok, I got offered 60 Days In, and it was like 60 grand that they offered me to do it for 60 days, and I refused it. And then when I got offered Mr. Beast, huge opportunity for YouTube, went against my moral and, how I feel about things morally. So I turned that down too. I wasn't interested in it and I didn't do it. It's just, you get offered a lot of sort of opportunities when you're working in this sphere. And I want to be very selective about what I do because I feel like my commitment is more to you guys than it is to anything like that. You guys are my priority. This community is my priority. Turd Ferguson. Brett Bart let him go because he said relationship between year-old and adults could be beneficial. Still sketch. Yeah, that's sketch. That's undeniably sketch, bro. 100%. Shauna D came in late, wanted to say you look a bit down, so I wanted to say you're awesome. Thanks for giving us this platform to uplift one another. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm not really down. I'm just a little bit tired. It's been a crazy, probably week now, and I haven't gotten to eat, and I'm really hungry. So I'm going to be jumping off to eat here soon, but thank you so much for taking the time to uplift me. I love you so much. Lock Kraken. It's definitely weird, but I've had pads in my car and over the years have saved more than one coworker from embarrassment. And that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to really young kids, it's a new and different thing. I'm not saying it's generally or necessarily bad. I'm just saying, for somebody who's old, it hits different. And I wonder what the effects of kids growing up with all of this is going to be. Trev said, JD, I'm the only mod here and gotta go. The kiddos, be right back. Well, Trev, we're jumping off. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I just wanted to jump on because I saw that thing in court, and the Trump attempted assassin was found guilty. So he'll be getting sentenced soon. We're going to probably next month. We're going to see Diddy get sentenced next month. Wes Watson goes to trial next month. Who knows? I might go out to Miami and go sit in court and watch Wes Watson's trial. Or we might just, stream what's going on with that whole thing. I won't be able to make it into the Diddy sentencing But there's a lot of crazy stuff coming up next month, and I'm really excited. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And until the next one, it's always one love, baby. Be good or be good at it.